Over the years, I've worked with people from all walks of life: engineers, designers, freelancers, corporate managers, fresh graduates, and even folks nearing retirement. Some of them had degrees from the best colleges, top jobs, polished resumes, but very few of them became wealthy. And I'm not talking about rich in the sense of owns a good car and takes 2 vacations a year. I'm talking about people who achieved true financial freedom, the ability to walk away from anything that doesn't align with who they are and still be okay. What fascinated me was that the people who got there didn't always look impressive on the surface. In fact, some of them were invisible in the room. They didn't have charisma, they didn't network like crazy, they didn't post motivational quotes every day. But if you watched closely, there were signs. You could sense that something about them was different. Their approach, their mindset, their relationship with time, money, and discomfort. And over time, those subtle traits turned into real results. I started paying attention. Who climbs and who stays stuck? Who says they want more and who actually gets it? Eventually, I realized there are clear patterns. You can spot people who are on their way to becoming wealthy long before the money shows up. And better yet, you can train yourself to build those same traits. Today, I want to walk you through 5 of those signs. These are simple, observable behaviors I've seen again and again in people who go from paycheck dependent to financially independent. And I'll tell you this upfront, none of these signs have anything to do with talent, privilege, or luck. They're behavioral, mental, emotional, learnable. Let's start with the first one. Their relationship with pleasure. People who go on to build wealth usually have a different approach to entertainment. They're not constantly chasing nights out, binge-worthy TV shows, or dopamine hits from scrolling social media. It's not that they hate fun, it's just that their definition of fun evolves. They get more excitement from progress than from distraction. I've seen this up close. I remember one guy who worked in tech, very average on the surface. He wasn't loud, didn't hang out with the popular crowd, but when others went out for beers on Friday night, he stayed in and tinkered with code. On weekends, he'd skip parties to build his freelance portfolio. People said he was boring. Fast forward 5 years, he runs his own product company and has more time, money, and freedom than the people who mocked him. This isn't about glorifying hustle culture. It's about priorities. When someone is focused on building something meaningful, meaningless fun doesn't pull them in the same way. I've been there too. There were years when I said no to dinner plans, travel, and Netflix. Not because I was trying to be disciplined, but because I had something I wanted more than comfort. That obsession pulled me out of mediocrity. People who stay broke often use entertainment to escape. People who build wealth use focus to escape the system. That's the difference. Let's move to the second sign. How someone talks about money. If someone talks about money only in terms of what it can buy, a fancy car, branded clothes, the latest iPhone, that's a red flag. People who end up wealthy usually talk about money as freedom, as choice, as leverage. One of the biggest shifts in my life happened when I stopped seeing money as a tool for validation and started seeing it as a tool for peace. Peace from bad clients, peace from toxic work, peace from financial anxiety. I've heard this from every self-made person I know. At some point, they flipped their thinking. It wasn't about buying more things. It was about needing less permission. I once mentored a woman who said, "My goal is to earn enough so I can say no." That hit me hard. She wasn't chasing more. She was chasing space. That's what real wealth gives you, the ability to say no to nonsense. The broke mindset often wants to prove something. I made it. The wealthy mindset is usually quiet. It's content because it's not looking to impress anyone. It's just trying to stay free. The third sign is their ability to deal with discomfort. Most people will spend extra money just to make their life easier. They'll pay for convenience even if it slows their financial growth. They'll Uber instead of walking a short distance, order food even when they have groceries at home, use credit to upgrade everything the moment they get a raise. I'm not saying don't enjoy life. I'm saying notice how easily people trade long-term peace for short-term comfort. People who become wealthy train themselves to delay comfort. They'll take the bus, walk in the heat, eat at home, and put that money into their business or investments instead. Not because they love suffering, but because they understand the math. Every $100 saved and invested now can buy them months of freedom later. They don't just say they want financial independence, they act like it. I walked through this myself. There was a time I had money in my account but still chose to live lean. I could afford luxuries, but I wanted flexibility more than I wanted comfort. And that decision, repeated consistently, gave me a financial runway that changed everything. Wealthy people are comfortable being uncomfortable. They know that the short-term pain is how you earn long-term peace. The fourth sign is they believe in their vision loudly even before there's any proof. Most people wait until they're successful to speak confidently about their ideas. But those who build wealth start with belief, even when nobody listens, even when they're unsure how it'll work. That belief shows up in their voice, their actions, their consistency. I've met people who pitched their idea like it was already the next big thing, even though they were dead broke at the time, but they believed it. And because they believed it, they kept moving. They made the first version, they showed up online, they kept talking about it. Eventually, people started listening, and before anyone realized, they weren't just dreaming, they were building. This belief isn't arrogance, it's fuel. It's what carries you through the early phase when there's zero applause and only self-doubt. I remember when I launched my first product. I didn't have a team, a brand, or an audience, just an idea. But I believed in it so much that I talked about it like it already existed. That belief helped me show up differently, and that energy attracted my first users. If you see someone backing themselves before the world claps, watch them. They're going somewhere. And now the fifth sign. They're not seduced by luxury. This one always throws people off. You think that people who want to be rich are motivated by cars, watches, holidays, and designer gear. But in reality, the people who stay rich and those who get there on their own don't care about that stuff in the beginning. They care about control. They want to own their time, choose their projects, work with people they like, and walk away from anything that doesn't align. Luxury might come later, but it's never the driving force. I've met millionaires who still wear simple clothes, use basic phones, and drive average cars. Why? Because they don't need to prove anything. They've already won their game, which was never about impressing others. It was about living on their own terms. People who are obsessed with looking rich often stay broke. They upgrade their lifestyle too early. They confuse visibility with success. But the quiet builders, they don't care how it looks. They care how it feels. And that inner compass is what keeps them grounded even as they grow. So those are 5 signs I've learned to spot in people who eventually build wealth. They say no to constant pleasure, they talk about money as freedom, they're okay with discomfort, they believe in their ideas early, and they don't chase luxury. Now I want to ask you, how many of these signs do you see in yourself? Are you chasing distraction or purpose? Are you buying comfort now or investing for freedom later? Do you talk about money in terms of image or independence? Are you waiting for the world to believe in your dream, or are you willing to believe in it yourself? And most of all, are you focused on how life looks from the outside or how it feels on the inside? These traits are not genetic. They're not gifts. They're choices, patterns, habits, and every one of them can be built. You don't need to be born with the perfect mindset. You just need to start training the one you've got. You start by changing how you spend your time, who you listen to, what you prioritize, what you say no to. You practice discomfort until it becomes normal. You stop chasing approval and start chasing freedom. Wealth is not a lucky accident. It's the result of consistent behavior in the right direction. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these 5 traits and commit to it for the next 7 days. Just one. Skip one comfort, change one financial decision, speak one idea out loud before it's perfect, and watch what happens. Because progress doesn't start with perfection. It starts with momentum. And in the next video, I'll take you deeper into 5 more traits that separate people who dabble from those who dominate. Traits like how they use their time, who they spend it with, and how they recover from failure. If this video gave you clarity, hold on to it. Rewatch it if you need to. And most importantly, apply it. Because success doesn't come from what you know. It comes from what you do. And wealth doesn't wait. And wealth doesn't wait for you to be ready. It comes to those who are willing to build it. So get out there and start building.